The night sky above Outpost 9 shimmered, with strange lights that never belonged to Earth. The human settlement sat quietly on the edge of an alien desert, surrounded by cliffs that looked like frozen waves of glass. Sergeant Cole Rivers stood outside the communication dome, staring at the twin moons. He had been stationed here for almost a year, working as a technician and part-time guard. It was a lonely post, one of those forgotten places at the edge of human exploration. He always thought the silence was peaceful. Tonight, it felt heavy. Almost alive, Cole adjusted his breathing mask and checked the motion. Scanner again. Nothing. Just static wind and low-frequency hums from the power generators. He turned to head inside, but then the air changed. The night breeze stopped. The sand beneath his boots stopped moving. Everything went still. A faint shimmer appeared in the distance, like heat rising off metal. It grew taller, brighter, and began moving toward him. Cole froze, his heart thudding. His hand went to the blaster on his belt, but something deep inside told him not to draw it as the light drew closer. It shaped itself into something humanoid, a figure wrapped in faint blue energy. When it finally stepped into the moonlight, Cole saw her. She looked like a woman, but not human. Her skin had a soft silver tone, glowing faintly as if lit from within. Her hair floated slightly as though underwater, and her eyes, bright, luminous blue, seemed to pierce straight into him. She wasn't wearing armor, no weapon visible. But the air around her rippled like invisible waves of power. Cole tried to speak, but his throat went dry. Then she walked right up to him slowly. Deliberately until she stood only a few inches away, her gaze locked on his. For a long moment, neither moved. The hum of her energy field brushed against his cheek like warm static. Then she whispered, voice soft but commanding, "Don't even breathe." Cole froze, afraid even to blink. The moment she said it, the scanner on his wrist began to flicker wildly. Energy levels off the chart. The coms in his earpiece went silent. Even the base lights dimmed, as though she was pulling power from the air itself. He didn't know if she was warning him or protecting him. The alien woman turned slightly, scanning the horizon. Her eyes narrowed. She raised her hand, and a sphere of faint light appeared above her palm. The energy pulsed, sending out waves that shimmered across the ground like invisible ripples. Then she looked at him again. "Human," she said. "Something follows you." Cole's instincts kicked in. He turned, raising his blaster, but saw nothing. Only sand and faint outlines of the cliffs. "What do you mean?" "I'm alone out here." She shook her head. "No, they track your heat. Your breathing." Her tone was calm, but the glow in her eyes intensified. "If you wish to live, remain still." For several seconds, Cole did exactly that. The desert wind returned only now. It carried a faint metallic hiss. He could hear movement beneath the sand. Something was burrowing. Fast. Cole's heart raced. He'd read reports about this planet's native predators, phase stalkers, invisible creatures that hunted by sound and vibration. But the colony scientists swore they were extinct. Clearly, they were wrong. The alien woman stepped forward, spreading her hand toward the sand. Her light brightened, forming a protective field around them both. The sand suddenly exploded, and a massive creature lunged upward, jaws wide, body shimmering like liquid glass. Its body distorted light, almost invisible, but the energy shield revealed its shape. 6 limbs, long, narrow head, and too many eyes. Cole wanted to run, but the alien's hand remained raised. The creature slammed into her shield, screeching. Sparks of light scattered in all directions. She didn't move. Her expression remained calm but focused. Then, with a wave of her hand, she unleashed a burst of energy. The creature shrieked and collapsed back into the sand, vanishing beneath the surface. The desert went silent again. The glow around her faded. She lowered her arm and turned to face him. "You breathe now," she said simply. Cole exhaled sharply, his heart pounding. "What? What was that thing?" "A shadow of this world," she replied. "It wakes when humans arrive." "Your kind disturbs the silence." Cole frowned. "Then why save me?" Her eyes softened for the first time. "Because you looked at me without fear." He didn't know what to say to that. For a long time, they stood there under the twin moons. Finally, Cole asked, "Who are you?" She hesitated before answering. "My people once lived here. Before the war, turned our home to dust. We are the Lithari." Cole's eyes widened. The Lithari were a legend among explorers, an ancient race believed extinct after the Great Collapse, thousands of years ago. "You're alive." "Few of us," she said quietly. "Hidden, watching. We do not interfere." "Until now?" Cole frowned. "So why reveal yourself to me?" "Because," she said slowly, "something terrible is coming to this planet, and you are part of it, whether you wish to be or not." Cole followed her into the canyon where strange blue lights glowed from the rocks. He felt both terrified and fascinated. The path led to a hidden chamber deep below the desert floor. Inside were marking circles, runes, and what looked like star maps. She moved gracefully, touching the symbols as she spoke. "Your species calls this world L-47. To us, it was Lumia, the heart of silence. We buried something here long ago when our war consumed the stars." Cole stepped closer, studying the glowing runes. "You're saying there's something hidden underground?" "Yes," she said. "A weapon. One that must never awaken." Cole's stomach turned. "Then why tell me this?" "Because your people dig too deep," she replied. "Your machines have already touched the first seal." Cole rubbed his forehead. He knew the mining team had found strange readings, massive energy signatures, but no one understood what they were. "If that's true, we need to stop the excavation." She shook her head. "It may already be too late." Suddenly, the ground trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. The alien woman's glow brightened again. "They've awakened the first guardian," she said urgently. Cole grabbed his communicator. "Base command. This is Rivers. Do you read me? We've got seismic activity near Grid 7. Only static replied. The woman looked at him. "Your machines cannot reach beyond this chamber. You must trust me." Before Cole could reply, the wall cracked open. A rush of energy flooded the room, lighting up every symbol on the walls. Something ancient was stirring beneath the ground. Cole stepped back, shielding his eyes. "What's happening?" "The weapon dreams," she said softly. "And when it wakes, it will not know friend from enemy." The floor split open, revealing a deep pit filled with glowing light. From within, a mechanical sound began to rise, a rhythm of pulses like a heartbeat. Cole turned to her. "We need to seal this place." She nodded. "Then stand beside me." She raised both hands, channeling energy into the walls. The runes flared, and waves of blue light rippled outward. Cole, unsure what else to do, mirrored her movement, placing his hands on the nearest stone. Somehow, the markings responded to him too. The light intensified. The rumbling slowed. Finally, the pit closed. They both fell to their knees, exhausted. The silence returned. Cole caught his breath. You just saved everyone." The alien woman shook her head. "No, we delayed it. The heart of the weapon still stirs." Cole looked at her, studying her glowing eyes. There was sadness there. "Then we'll find a way to stop it," he said firmly. "Together." She turned to him, expression unreadable. "You would fight beside me, human?" "After what I just saw," he said, smiling weakly, "I'd be crazy not to." For the first time, she almost smiled. "Then breathe, Cole Rivers, but not too loudly. The world still listens." Outside, the twin moons drifted lower, and the desert wind returned, whispering across the silent dunes. Somewhere beneath them, deep in the planet's core, something ancient pulsed, once slow and steady, waiting to awaken again. The desert outside Outpost 9 had returned to its usual stillness, but the calm was deceptive. Beneath the sand, something old and dangerous had stirred. Cole Rivers and the alien woman whose name he now knew was Lyria stood together in the hidden chamber. Their hands still tingled from the energy of the runes, and Cole could feel a faint vibration under his boots. Like the heartbeat of the planet itself, we delayed it. But only for a short time, Lyria said, her luminous eyes scanning the walls. The weapon beneath us has woken, though only partially. Its guardians will emerge soon. Cole frowned. Guardians. What do they look like? How do we fight them? Lyria's gaze softened, but the glow around her intensified. Not like anything your people have faced. They are constructs built by my ancestors. Their bodies are harder than stone, faster than the wind, and they obey only the commands embedded in their creation. If they see you, they will attack without question. Cole swallowed hard. He had faced dangerous alien creatures before, but this felt different. Then we need a plan. We can't just wait down here, Lyria nodded. Agreed. But first, you must understand why I saved you. She stepped closer, the air shimmering around her. Your species carries something rare. Courage, adaptability, even fear does not stop you from acting. That is why you were spared. Cole felt a strange warmth at her words. You trust me. Not trust, she said softly, but necessity, and perhaps fate. The ground trembled again, more violently this time. Dust fell from the ceiling and the runes glowed brighter. Cole and Lyria hurried to the pit, where the ancient weapon rested. It was a deep hollow, filled with swirling blue light. The pulsing rhythm had grown louder, almost like a living heartbeat. What is it really? Cole asked, voice low. A weapon. A machine? Or something alive? Lyria studied him, her glowing eyes reflecting the blue light. All three. The Letheri created it long ago to protect the world from invaders. But over time it became unstable. It does not distinguish between friend and enemy anymore. It only obeys its core programming. Cole swallowed hard. And now it thinks we are enemies. Partially, Lyria admitted. It is confused by your presence. That is why you must act carefully. Cole looked around the chamber. Strange symbols were etched everywhere, pulsing faintly in rhythm with the weapon's heartbeat. Is there a way to stop it? There is, Lyria said, but it will not be easy. We must enter the weapon's core, and it will test us both physically and mentally. Cole's heart raced. What kind of test? Lyria hesitated. It adapts. It knows your weaknesses. Fear, doubt, hesitation, they are its weapons. We must reach it without giving it reason to attack. Cole nodded, steeling himself. Then we do it together. The two of them descended further into the chamber, following a spiral of glowing runes that led toward the planet's core. The air grew warmer and the vibration stronger with every step. Cole noticed that the walls seemed to shift, almost breathing. Lyria's glow became brighter, illuminating hidden passages and symbols that pulsed with strange life. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. From the walls, enormous shapes, emerged guardians of the weapon. Their bodies shimmered like liquid metal, 6 limbs each, eyes glowing with the same blue light as the weapon. They moved with unnatural speed, closing in on Cole and Lyria. "Stay behind me," Lyria shouted. Cole obeyed instinctively, but to his surprise, she did not fight in the way humans expected. Instead, she raised her hands, and streams of energy flowed from her palms. The guardians hesitated as if recognizing her authority. She moved with precision, directing them away from Cole. The guardians screeched but did not attack him directly. "They respond to my energy," she explained. "Follow my lead and do not panic." Cole's heart pounded as they navigated through the guardians, using shadows and energy barriers to avoid detection. His mind raced. These creatures were unlike anything he had ever faced. Stronger than steel, faster than any human reflex, and utterly relentless. Yet somehow, with Lyria's guidance, they avoided direct confrontation. Finally, it reached the inner chamber, the core of the weapon. It was massive, a swirling sphere of blue energy, suspended above the ground by invisible forces. Symbols rotated around it, like planets in orbit. The pulse was so strong that Cole felt it in his chest. Like the planet itself was alive. "The core will test you now," Lyria said. "It will probe your mind and body. Only by proving your courage and unity will we survive." Cole stepped forward, feeling the heat of the energy and the pressure of the unknown. He reached out to touch one of the floating symbols. Instantly, visions flooded his mind, visions of other worlds, battles, losses, and sacrifices. He saw human colonies destroyed, alien civilizations rising and falling. At a future where Earth itself was wiped out, he stumbled back, gasping. Lyria placed her hand on his shoulder, grounding him. Do not resist. Accept what you see. Show no fear. Cole clenched his fists and focused. He realized that the weapon was testing his resolve, measuring his fear and hesitation. He thought of his home, of humanity, of everything worth protecting. Slowly, the visions calmed, and the pulsing energy seemed to synchronize with his heartbeat. Lyria's glow intensified. Good, you are proving your courage. Now, reach out with me. Together, they extended their hands toward the core. Streams of energy from Lyria flowed into Cole, connecting him to the ancient weapon. He felt a surge of power, fear, pain, and clarity all at once. The weapon's pulse seemed to speak to him, asking questions without words, challenging his humanity. You are brave, a voice seemed to echo in his mind. But can you endure responsibility? Cole nodded, feeling the weight of the planet, the guardians, and the ancient power. I will protect this world. Pulse slowed, then stabilized. The guardians stopped moving, lowering their limbs in submission. The weapon's light dimmed to a soft glow, no longer threatening. Cole collapsed to his knees, exhausted. Lyria helped him up. You have passed the first trial, she said softly, but this is only the beginning. Others will come, seekers, invaders, and those who would misuse this power. We must prepare. Cole nodded, catching his breath. Then we fight together, whatever comes. Outside the chamber, the desert was quiet again. The twin moons cast silver light on the dunes. But Cole knew this peace would not last. Something ancient and powerful had awakened, and it would not stay silent for long. Lyria turned to him, her eyes reflecting both sadness and hope. You are stronger than I expected, human. Perhaps stronger than we need. But strength alone will not be enough. You must learn the ways of the Lithari, understand their history, and respect the weapon. Only then will we survive what comes next. Cole glanced at her, determination burning in his eyes. I will. Teach me everything. She nodded, a faint smile on her glowing face. Then you will see the truth of this world and the part your people play in its survival. For the first time since arriving on L-47, Cole felt a sense of purpose. The planet, the weapon, the alien woman before him, they were no longer mysteries to fear. They were challenges to face, and he would not falter, deep beneath the desert. The weapon pulsed gently as if acknowledging its new ally. The guardians slithered back into the shadows, awaiting the next command. And above, the twin moons watched silently, bearing witness to the first steps of a human and a Lithari working together against a threat that spanned millennia. The twin moons hung low over the desert of L-47, casting silver light over the cliffs and dunes. Cole Rivers and Lyria stood on a ridge overlooking the hidden chamber beneath the planet's surface. For days, they had studied the ancient weapon and trained with its guardians. Learning to understand its rhythms and commands, every step had been a challenge, testing both mind and body. But Cole now felt a strange connection to the weapon pulsing deep underground. The weapon's pulse is growing stronger, Lyria said, her glowing eyes scanning the horizon. Something or someone's approaching. I feel it in the energy of the planet. Cole tightened his grip on his blaster, though he had learned not to rely solely on weapons. Invaders. She nodded. Yes. Others have sensed the weapon's awakening. They will not leave this world untouched. From the distance, a faint vibration trembled through the sand. Dust swirled around the cliffs as shadows moved quickly across the desert floor. Cole could barely make out shapes machines, advanced beyond human design, closing in on the planet. Their sensors were sharp, their movements precise, as if they had anticipated the weapon's power long before it stirred. Then we prepare, Cole said. We fight. Lyria stepped beside him, her hands glowing faintly as she called upon the energy of the guardians. The weapon will aid us, but its power is not infinite. We must act carefully, or the world will pay the price. They descended into the chamber one last time, moving past the Guardians that now recognized Cole as an ally. The energy of the weapon hummed through his body, a steady pulse synchronized with his heartbeat. Every rune on the walls glowed, responding to the presence of the human and the Lithari woman. Cole could feel the weight of responsibility settle over him. It was no longer just about survival. This weapon was a part of the planet, a living guardian, and he had become its partner. Suddenly, the chamber walls shook. The invaders had arrived. Massive alien machines emerged from the desert surface above. They were sleek and metallic, armed with energy beams and reinforced armor. Their approach sent vibrations through the ground, and the Guardians reacted immediately, forming protective barriers around the core. The pulse of the weapon intensified, responding to the threat. Cole turned to Lyria. "How do we stop them?" She touched his shoulder. "We don't just fight. We channel the weapon. Its full potential is in the core, but it must bond with living beings who understand its purpose. You, human, are ready." Cole's eyes widened. "Me? Are you sure? I've seen your courage, your resolve." "You are ready," she said, her glow brighter than ever. "We must act now," Cole nodded, fear replaced by determination. Together, they stepped into the center of the chamber, directly beneath the suspended sphere of blue energy. Lyria guided his hands onto the floating symbols, linking his energy with hers and the weapon's pulse. At first, it was overwhelming. The force pressed against his mind, showing visions of the past, the Lithari, building the weapon, the wars that destroyed their homeworlds, and the sacrifices they made to protect Lumia. Cole held steady, focusing on the present, on the invaders above, on the need to protect this world. Slowly, the visions shifted. He felt the weapon's energy flowing into him, strengthening him, merging their purpose. Above ground, the invaders unleashed their first attack. Energy beams streaked through the desert, shattering rock and sending sand flying. But the Guardians, guided by Cole and Lyria, intercepted the assault, forming shimmering shields that absorbed the blasts. The air vibrated with energy as the weapon responded, projecting force waves that pushed the enemy machines back. Cole realized something incredible. The weapon did not just protect, it fought strategically. It analyzed, predicted, and reacted faster than any human or alien mind. And now, with him linked to it, he could guide its actions, anticipating the invaders' moves. "Focus on the largest machines," Lyria shouted. "We cannot let them reach the chamber." Cole nodded and concentrated, feeling the energy coursing through him. His mind and the weapon's pulse synchronized, and with a thought he directed a wave of force toward the invaders. The largest machines were thrown off balance, some collapsing into the sand, others disabled by sudden energy surges. Smaller machines faltered, confused by the weapon's unpredictable patterns. The desert became a battlefield of light and shadow. The Guardians struck with precision. The weapon's energy erupted in brilliant waves. And Cole and Lyria moved together like a single force, directing the flow of power. The invaders were relentless, but they were unprepared for the combined strength of human courage and Lithari wisdom. Ours seemed to pass in minutes. The invaders regrouped for a final push, concentrating all their power on one area of the desert. Cole and Lyria braced themselves. "This is it," she said. "The weapon will respond to the unity of our spirits. Trust it. Trust yourself." Cole nodded. He raised his hands to the floating symbols, feeling the energy surge stronger than ever. The pulse of the weapon expanded outward, engulfing the invaders. Waves of force lifted them into the air, disabling their systems. The Guardians moved in unison, striking precise blows that dismantled the enemy machines. Cole felt the energy of the weapon flowed through him, filling him with a strength he had never known. The invaders' attacks slowed, their machines collapsing one by one. The desert shook, dust swirling into a storm of blue light as the pulse of the weapon reached its peak. Then, the final surge, the energy swept across the battlefield, neutralizing every remaining threat. Silence fell over the desert. The invaders had been defeated. Cole sank to his knees, exhausted but alive. Lyria approached, her glow dimming slightly as she lowered her hands. "It is done," she said softly. "The invaders are gone. The planet is safe for now." Cole looked around at the Guardians standing silently, the chamber glowing with calm energy, and the desert peaceful once more. We did it," he whispered. "We actually did it," Lyria said, smiling faintly. Together, days later, the twin moons rose again, casting their silver light over Outpost 9. Cole and Lyria walked among the dunes, their bond stronger than ever. He had learned the ways of the Lithri, understanding their history and the weapon they had created to protect their world. He had faced fear, danger, and uncertainty, and had emerged stronger and wiser. "You have changed, human," Lyria said, her eyes glowing gently. "Not just in courage, but in understanding. You are no longer just a visitor here. You are a guardian of this world," Cole smiled. "I never imagined I'd be a part of something like this. But I feel like I belong." "You do," she said, "and the weapon knows it as well. It will recognize your presence, your purpose, as long as you are here. Together, we can protect Lumia from anything that threatens it." Cole glanced at the horizon, where the sun began to rise over the desert. "Then we stay vigilant. Whatever comes next, we face it. Together." Lyria nodded, and for the first time her glow reflected warmth, hope, and trust. The bond between human and Lithari was stronger than fear, stronger than the past, and stronger than any weapon. Together, they had faced the awakening of a power older than the stars and survived. The desert was quiet again. But now it was alive with promise. The Guardians returned to their posts, standing silently around the chamber and across the dunes. Cole and Lyria watched over them, ready to protect the planet from any who would disturb its peace, and beneath the sands, the ancient weapon pulsed gently, a steady heartbeat echoing through the core of the world. It had found its allies in the most unexpected forms, a human with courage and an alien with wisdom, and together they had ensured the survival of Lum. The twin moons reflected in Cole's eyes as he looked at Lyria. "Whatever happens next, we face it together," he said again. She smiled softly, radiating calm and strength. "Yes, together." The world was safe for now, but the adventure was only beginning.